So recently, it felt like my village people were after me. You get some kind of situations that you will be into. You will have no other option than to get spiritual. You will think that, okay, someone is somewhere doing you. But it may not be spiritual after all. It may just be one of those life circumstances, Life is not always easy. There's bumps up and down. Yeah, that is what makes life life. Life is always lifing. So recently, I began to encounter a lot of issues with my work tools. First off, my router that I bought though, that I've not used up to 2 months. It was just 1 month and maybe 1 week. My router suddenly stopped working. Like, it stopped working. I did practically everything possible to get this thing to start working, but no way. I was frustrated. Maybe frustration is an understatement, but you get the feelings that I was into. I had to write to MTN. I wrote to them, I emailed them, and they actually gave a quick response the first time. They told me what to do. Although I had done some home remedy which was not working, they told me what to do. I proceeded to do it, and it started working. I was happy. I was elated. I emailed them, thanked them that that the solution they gave is working out for me. Then within 30 minutes, this router stopped working again. Frustration was an understatement. It was really an understatement. I wrote to MTN again, but this time around, it took them like 2 weeks to respond. But I was not going to sit around waiting for them to respond within those 2 weeks. So I got to work. This thing happened on the weekend, on Saturday. So by Tuesday, I resumed work. But my internet connectivity was not that strong like it used to be. I mean, you cannot compare a router network with your mobile data network. It cannot be compared at all. So my internet connectivity was not strong, to the extent that my employer noticed it. She noticed that I was going off and on. So she had to mention, okay, even before she mentioned it, I told her that, see, I have a problem with my router that I'm still trying to fix. That for now, I'm going to be using my mobile data and my mini Wi-Fi. The strength of the mini Wi-Fi cannot be compared to Cat 6 router. No, it cannot be compared at all. So my employer, being an understanding person, she said, okay, instead of stressing both myself and herself out, that what we are going to do was, she's going to take me off schedule for a while until I fix the router issue. I said, okay, that's fine. She took me off schedule for that day, for the remaining hours of that day, and for the subsequent days, so that I could solve my router issue. So the next morning, I proceeded to MTN's office. I got there. After much back and forth, they found that the panel of my router was damaged. Can you imagine that? Router that I've barely used for 2 months, just a month and 1 week, that the panel was damaged. They gave me 2 options. One of the options was I either buy a new router, or I dropped the damaged one for them to take to the head office for repairs. So I dropped the damaged one with them. I was thinking that, okay, it's probably going to take a few days or 1 week for them to get it sorted out, and I will get my router back. But I was wrong. But I didn't sit back to wait, because I seriously need to get back to work. Based on because I work on hourly paid method. So each day that I do not work, now my money they lost. And being an Igbo girl that I am, I don't like the idea of losing money. I don't like the idea at all. So the very next morning, I went to another MTN office elsewhere. I purchased another Cat 6 so that I could resume work. So I purchased another Cat 6. Remember, I left the other one in the other MTN office for them to take it to their head office for repairs. I purchased another Cat 6, came back, told my employer that I've gotten another router. You can fix me back on schedule. I don't like the idea of losing money. I mean, each day I don't work, I am losing some moolah. So I thought that was going to be all. But my laptop started acting up too. Can you beat that? Too many temptation in the same month, all on my head. This my small head. So my laptop started acting up. Like, it was really, really bad. It was really crazy. It will hang. Like, it was having a lot of malfunctioning, the laptop. My employer, being an understanding person that she is, she still has to take me off schedule until I sort my laptop issue and I buy a new laptop. So, in this world, if you are praying, just pray for, okay, problem is inevitable, but your prayer should be, problem that money cannot solve should not come to you. Even if problem will come to you, the one that money can solve, those ones can come. So I had in the same month, I had router issue, I had laptop issue. My laptop was so bad. My employer had to take me off schedule for weeks. You can imagine how much I was losing. You can imagine that temptation here and there. So thank God, Thank God for his mercies, and for problem that money can solve, I had to get a new laptop. Remember, I got a new router. Now I had to get a new laptop to enable me get back to work. Can you imagine all that? So that brings us to the topic for today, which is common technical issues in the remote workspace. I know that as a remote worker that you can relate to some of these stories that I just shared now, because technical issues are really inevitable in the remote workspace. If it's not your network connectivity, it is either one of your hardware or all of that. Now let's talk about network problems. So if you're a remote worker in Nigeria, network problem is inevitable. There's no two ways about it. You must experience a network glitch 1 or 2 times. So that is why it's important for you to have several backup. Using your mobile data is not enough. In fact, your mobile data cannot do much for you. People that have money, they buy Starlink, that network, or you can even buy Cat 6 router like the one I was using, yeah, it can also develop its own kind of problem. Like right now I have 2 routers on standby. If this one develops problem, I switch to the other one. You can also make researches and find alternative solutions, alternative network solutions. So as a remote worker, network problem is one of the biggest issues that we face down here. So to combat this issue is for you to have alternative means, alternative sources. I've previously made a video on talking about network problems. So if there is network issue in your house, there's usually network issue in your house, you can find somewhere else where there is network. You stay there and do your job. There are even some cafeterias, some bars, some eateries where there are free Wi-Fi. Just go there, buy something and find a convenient spot for yourself and stay there for the hours you are going to be working. But if you'll be staying at home, there's network in your house, but there are glitches sometimes. I advise, in fact, it is paramount for you to have all the networks in Nigeria, because these other people may be going mint. You switch to the other network, you get. So don't let network problem dull your shine as a remote worker. You got to combat that. So aside from network problem, there are also hardware issues. Like in my case, when my computer decided to start acting up. So your own computer may decide to crash all of a sudden. What are you going to do? That is why it is important to have spare. It is important to have spare laptop or spare keyboard. It is highly important. I know that, okay, the money might not be there for now, but once you start earning and making quite enough, it's important to have everything in tools, both laptop, keyboard, etc. And for maintenance, I also advise that you back up your files, because these electrical devices, these gadgets, they cannot be fully trusted. So back up all your data, all the necessary data you are working with. There is Google Cloud, Google Drive for that. You can buy enough space there and back up your stuff, so that should in case your laptop, your computer crashes, you wouldn't lose too much files. So the keyword there, aside from backup and regular maintenance of the hardware devices you are working with, that the other keyword there is for you to have a spare parts, okay, not parts, have a spare gadget somewhere, so that if one begins to make remote, you quickly switch to the other one. Like right now I have 2 laptops, although the head of one is not too correct, but I have one that I am rest assured in. So as a remote worker, all these hardwares, they are your shop. They are more like your shop. So where you work, you invest in it. There is this adage I am trying to use to qualify what I'm saying right now, but I can't recall it. So now where man they work, now they invest in stuff like that. So make all the investment you can into your workspace, into the gadgets that you are working with, because that is where your money is coming from. Any money you spent in setting up these things or in buying spare gadgets, we come back to you in triple fold. So far you know what you are doing and you have jobs out there. So remote work can be very challenging. Yes, it is really, really challenging, especially when you start experiencing all these technical issues. Some of them I may not have remembered to talk about it in this video, but believe me, there are a whole lot of technical issues out there that remote workers face. So it can be really, really challenging, especially when these issues start coming up and you do not have the fund or the resources to sort them out. So for now, okay, in case you don't have the resources, for now, do the best that you can, which is regular maintenance. But once the money starts coming in, make sure that you buy a spare of everything that you are working with, because you never can tell when any temptation might decide to come up, and you don't want to be taken off schedule like myself. And believe me, I'm even lucky. Yes, I like to think that I'm very lucky, because if it were some employers, maybe they will terminate your contract. They may see the person as you are not a serious person, regardless that we all know the fault is not yours. It's just a fault that can happen to anybody. So I like to think that I am lucky with the kind of employer that I have. So once the money starts coming in, invest in your work gadgets to avoid being taken off schedule like I was. And I know you don't want to lose money. You don't want to lose money at all. So I don't like the idea of losing money. So if you found this video helpful, if you found it entertaining, I'd like you to do something for me, which you already know. So I'd like you to hit the thumbs up in this video. Also comment and share this video with your friends or your acquaintance who will be interested in my content. Up until next time, happy assisting. Bye.